stood with us. Wow. Wow. You know, people who pointed out that the unions are working together, you know, and organizations were pushing the Egyptian protests, those people were called crazy. But it looks like every day that goes by, those people are more and more right. And you should pay attention, because this leads to something bigger. Another thing some people were called crazy for was saying that things would spread into places like India. Pay no attention to the man behind me. He's crazy. Is he pointing to India yet? Yeah. He said that it would spread to India, the riots. And everybody said, there's no Muslims there. That's crazy. Why could you do Muslims? There's no Muslims in India. Yeah. See, back over here. I didn't say that it was just the Islamists. I said it was the communists and socialists and radicals working together against Israel, capitalism, and to overturn stability. So, gee, do you think maybe we should check on India? Come on. Let me show you this. You're going to love this. Oh, BBC News, thousands protest against high food prices in Delhi. Wait a minute, what did we just see from the Wall Street Journal? That's rising food prices, and who's causing that? Oh, that's right, Timothy Geithner and Ben Bernanke. That's us. And guess who's organizing all of these riots and these marches? Say it with me. The unions. Oh my gosh, look at all of the red there. They're also being aided by the communists in India. Do you see what's happening? Our food prices have led to increased food prices now around the globe. We're inflating our money, increasing food prices. Now unions are there with the hard part, to help unite the workers and get them to rise up because of high food prices. Notice all the red flags and t-shirts? Yeah. Guess who's coming with the solution? Hard part. Old SDS revolutionaries. Oh, they're there. And new ones, too, like Van Jones, the unrepentant, militant, revolutionary communist. Forget about the 9/11 truther thing. He's a revolutionary communist. He's suddenly now cloaking his message like Jesus and the American dream. Well, who doesn't like the American dream? I love the American dream, don't you? Quick, before I go any farther, tell me what the American dream is. I mean, you can't tell me because I can't hear you because I'm actually in New York. I don't know where you are. So think about what the American dream is. Got it? Unless you have read this book, you most likely don't know what it is. This is a progressive book. This was written by a Woodrow Wilson progressive who was... Oh, he was great. He was an advisor. Big progressive. The American dream, you think everybody gets a fair shake, right? Yeah, no. This is the actual definition of the American dream because it was a progressive that coined the term in this book. It said everybody gets a house and a car and a chicken in every pot. It said, well, you know, come on. A fair shake isn't enough. It's state capitalism. Well, now Van Jones is picking up where this author, long time ago, left off. He wrote about it in the Huffington Post. He wrote about this. Now, I want you to know, this was Van Jones probably praying to the sequoias and thinking about Mao, saying, Mao, what should we do? Talk to the sequoias so they can talk to me. What should we do? I'm so worried about what I see going on. There's so much hatred. And he heard the sequoia say, Van, introduce the American dream movement. The hard part, said Mao, the hard part. So he wrote. He took, I hope, a biodegradable pen and definitely not paper. Sorry, Mr. Tree, I need to use some paper. Write it down. And he went right to the Huffington Post, and he introduced his concept, the American Dream Movement, where we'll all come together, finally, because we care about the American dream. Spontaneous? Sure it is. Sure it is, unless you do your research, which, gosh darn it must suck to be them because we do every day. In July of 2008, who had video of this? Did we? Yes, we did. Didn't see it coming, did you guys? The Progressive Netroot Conference, where Van Jones was the keynote speaker. Oh, he wasn't there alone. No. No, no, no. Everybody on the democracy train, he had La Raza. He had the Islamic Center of America. Love those guys. The NAACP and, Richard Trumka, were you there too? Bing, bing. Where's the stop we're getting off? Oh, yeah, I remember. The American Dream. Well, it's kind of the American Dream, kind of like hope and change, isn't it? Doesn't really mean anything, does it? Maybe it means different things to different people. They talked about it, a different American dream. I never heard it expressed this way, but here it is. Listen. 2008.
The American dream is a progressive vision. It is something that we share together. It is not about an individual climbing the ladder. It is about making sure that there are ladders for all of us to climb. The American dream is a progressive vision, and that it requires collective action in our society.
Collective action. The American dream is progressive. And pensions and ladders and all kinds of stuff. Not what you thought, not about a fair shake. The actual phrase does not mean what you think it doesn't mean the hard part like you think it does from our founders. No, no, no. No, no. I guess mandatory houses and making sure everybody has equal stuff. That was Martin Luther King's dream, we found out from Al Sharpton earlier. I told you. It will feel as if progressives are perverting or redefining the meaning behind the American dream, but most likely you don't know what the American dream is. They are not. It was coined by progressives, and it is collective action. Well, why not have collective action so we can have collective salvation? It is the original definition from the progressives and the American dream. The key to that vehicle that gets that done? Oh, you'll never guess. I'll show you the key and how they're perverting that message when we come back. Okay, I want to show you, sorry, I was just busy here and I'm running out of time. I want to show you that you're going to be hearing a lot of rhetoric about the American dream. Van Jones was out in the woods, I guess, talking to Sequoia, and he said, "What do I do? Mao, what do I do? I'm a communist revolutionary. What do I do?" And Mao and the tree spoke to him and said, "Introduce the American Dream movement. Gather everybody together. Go out and talk to about the hard part. We're all Americans. We got to come together." Yeah. I want you to understand that the American Dream was written originally in this book. It is a progressive idea. It's not what you think it is. And the American Dream is being used for this concept. If I said to you back in 2008, "Hey, let's have hope that there's going to be change. And what we're going to do, the change we're looking for, is make Congress irrelevant. We're going to spend money on green jobs and have about 10% unemployment. And we're going to," I can't even read my, oh yeah, that was going to be increase the debt by $2 trillion. Is there a single soul in America, besides a revolutionary, that would have voted for that? No. But we all wanted change. Well, we all believe in the American dream, don't we? Read the book carefully. 2008, the Netroots Conference. How were they going to start this drive to restore the American dream? Listen, 2008.
More union members means a better progressive movement. You can't have a successful progressive movement without a workers' movement. It's never been done in the history of progressive politics. And we've got to change the direction of those numbers.
There's change for you. Now listen to the rhetoric being used by progressives in this Wisconsin union fight. You got to get more people, so you have few options. You got to get more people into the unions, right? Well, how do you do that? Well, with change. You just raise the salary of a federal worker so high, make it so far and above the average American salary that you got people saying, you got to work for the government. Then you could pass draconian bills, let's say a health care bill, and make it almost impossible to do business, okay? Then you, because you are on the top down, you can provide special waivers for all your union buddies in certain union businesses so they can be successful. But private small businesses that you don't like will fail. And if that doesn't work, you use force, and we'll get to that. You got it? But keep on making sure you're talking about change, but then everybody will figure out they don't want that kind of change. And so you change again, and you start talking about something else, warm and cuddly like bunny rabbits and kitty cats. The American dream.
Ask God to bless our efforts, keep us humble and focused in the struggle. As we seek to do a basic things, defend the rights of workers and their families, as we seek to protect the integrity of the American dream.
Then there's this statement, coincidentally, from the Wisconsin city and federal and state workers. We stand united for the rights and freedom of all Americans to collectively bargain for their piece of the American dream. From the Daily Kos. Here it is. This fight is not about public employees. This fight is not about unions. It's about Americans standing up to defend the American dream from soulless multinational corporations and their political goons. The hard part. From MoveOn.org, we call for an emergency rally in front of every state house this Saturday at noon. Quick, it's an emergency. We didn't plan this at all. Stand together to save the American dream. Oh man, you would think that it wouldn't be such an emergency, seeing that they knew this in 2008. But let me replay again what their definition of the American dream is.
The American dream is a progressive vision. It is something that we share together. It is not about an individual climbing the ladder. It is about making sure that there are ladders for all of us to climb. The American dream is a progressive vision, and that it requires collective action in our society.
Collective action. So we can all have collective salvation. Say Jesus. Well, not Jesus, because he's not into collective salvation. Say Obama. It's great, and it's time. Quickly, time is... I hear the clock. It's running out. Wake your neighbors up. I'm sure. I'm positive. I've seen the press reports. This is a wild, wild coincidence and conspiracy theory that back in 2008 and over a year ago again, all the unions get together and the progressives, and they're talking about how Egypt is the key and they have to reclaim the American dream 2 years ago. And now suddenly, spontaneous, it's an emergency, says MoveOn.org. The protests pop up in Egypt, and Code Pink and the AFL-CIO are there, surprisingly, well, I think on vacation. And SEIU and ACORN are over in India and all over the world. It's great. What a wild conspiracy theory. Too bad we have the videotapes to back it up. It's also a wild coincidence that at the same time the progressive hack groups are supporting the 50 spontaneous protests. Look at this. This is amazing. Here, the emergency rallies brought to you by all of these people. So here's what I did. I asked for those that were connected to Van Jones, you know, the hard part, or communism. Okay. Well, this one here is Soros. This one is Soros. Labor unions, communism. Soros. Well, Soros. And then all the rest of them are Soros, too. I ran out of Soros pictures. The people that make the magnets for me, they get sleepy and tired. Please don't make me make another George Soros magnet. 18, connected to George Soros. Spontaneous, free, unconnected, definitely not AstroTurf. Oh, yeah, that's what Nancy Pelosi called it, wasn't it? I mean, the Tea Parties. This is, will you decide? Back in a minute.